Mayor Scott, it's Art Culture Week. Art Culture. Yeah, it's a whole week of it. Artscape 2023. And I'm an artist. I'm an activist. All right? These are your words. Art Culture Week. I am thrilled to announce art and culture this week to celebrate the rich tapestry of artists' expression in our community. The arts are always been an integral part of our city, contributing to our integrity and identity, vibrancy and culture, diversity that reinforces commitment to nurturing a thriving arts and culture district. It is our responsibility to ensure that the arts continue to flourish in our city, provide an opportunity for artists to thrive and for those residents to connect with the help of beauty and inspiration that art brings to our lives. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. Shorty, pull your mask up. It's art and activism, the art of protest. That's Martin Luther King. That's my mentor. All right? I say to you today, my friends, so even though we face difficulties in today and tomorrow, I still have a dream. Well, I turned that dream into a reality. I picked up the baton of Martin Luther King. Art and activism. All right? If we have the courage and tenacity of our forebears who stood firmly like a rock against the lash of slavery, we shall find a way to do it for our day today, what they did for theirs. All right? That's Shorty. I'm still standing. I gave you a legacy museum. This is Westmore. This is art and activism, and this is our prison industry. Mass incarceration, right here. That's President Obama. He asked for an investigation in 2008. I voted. Yeah, I voted. Ex-felons got a right to vote. Shorty, pull your mask up. Like you said, art. This is art. Art and activism. Those are criminal charges against Scott Shellenberger. That's the NAACP. They said if you want to hide something, hide it in a book. So I put it in a book. I got one book. I got two books. I got 3 books. I got 4 books, 5 books, 6 books, 7 books, all about Baltimore. You stand for Tennessee, but won't stand for me. This is Devin Allen, A Beautiful Ghetto. And Devin Allen put me in this book. Devin Allen took me on tour with him in Philadelphia. I gave Devin Allen a story, the story about activism. That's me, Shorty, a champion for justice. That's another book. And it's I Am Dred Scott. Like I said, Governor Westmore, President Obama asked for an investigation. Notice of departure. Interstate commerce. We talk about slavery in the 21st century. The new faces of old Jim Crow. You feel me? That's my FBI file number. That's depart by train. All right? By train. And that's in 2008. All right? Making a documentary about your prison industry. A documentary about Councilman Scott, Mayor Brandon Scott, your rise to power. See the date? 2008. That's Commissioner Batts, Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake, Councilman Brandon Scott, Councilman Branch, and Councilman Coran. That's an ID number. All right? Department of Justice, Internal Affairs Division, 2010. All right? That's when y'all came in my house and put guns in my head. Brandon Scott and everybody talking about jurisdiction. That's jurisdiction. 1402 Lochner, Apartment A, 2010, 2011. All 911 calls. You feel me? Like I said, Councilman Scott, that's Mayor Scott. That's the Department of Justice. And that's Martin Luther King. And it ain't going to be just us in 2023. All right? It ain't going to be just us. That's Jackie Addison. Jackie Addison always talk about she don't know, she don't know. Jackie Addison worked for Mayor Brandon Scott. So she can walk up to Mayor Brandon Scott and get that information. Jackie Addison's husband worked for the States Attorney's Office. So does Crumb. Ivan Bates. Y'all got this. Y'all playing dumb-dumb. Racism don't work without black cooperation. That's what Martin Luther King fought for. He fought against racism. You feel me? Y'all fighting for self-enrichment. This is a legacy book. All right. This is the Legacy Museum in Montgomery, Alabama. All right. In Montgomery, Alabama. That's the Legacy Museum and the Legacy book. That's John Connors. No, that's Lewis. And that's the Pettus Bridge. And that's Martin Luther King. They call it the good kind of trouble. Nothing can dim the light that shines from within. This is homelessness in Baltimore. All right. This is Anthony. He had a funeral not too long ago. Jocelyn Noah wrote a story about him. The Baltimore Beat put the story in there. But we talking about Selma to Montgomery, the 51-mile relay. We talking about the Legacy Museum, a legacy of lies. You feel me? A legacy of slavery in America. We talking about the Equal Justice Initiative. All right. Now we're gonna get justice in 2023. It ain't gonna be just slave catching. All right. It ain't gonna be just slave catching. The slave went from free, stood for a brief moment in the sun, then moved back again towards slavery. That's W.E. Du Bois. Slavery in America, Era 1. You feel me? Warehouses, depots, slave jails. All right? Like I said, this is your legacy museum. And I'm going to give you a legacy. Jesus had a cross. Martin had a dream. Malcolm got a gun. Shorty got a toilet. We all got our shit to deal with. This is art and activism. The art of protest. You feel me? Art of protest. Art and activism. Put this on the walls of City Hall. And y'all took it down. But we're going to do it again. It ain't going to be just us. We're going to get some justice. I'm not George Floyd. I'm not Freddie Gray. I'm not Emmett Till. I'm not Maurice Donald Johnson. I'm not Tyrone West. I'm not Commissioner. I'm not DeSouza, the Souter. I'm not Robert Clay. I'm alive and breathing. And I could talk about my incarceration. I could talk about the abuses by the police. All right? I could talk about it. No justice, no peace. All right? Think about the kids. Y'all want to incarcerate our kids all over again. So, Mayor Brandon Scott, on the walls of City Hall, y'all destroyed my artwork. But you said that you want a cultural exchange for artists and artistry. You feel me? That's what you said you want. But what you say you want and what you do is two different things. It's Artscape. It's a culture week from the 18th to the 24th. All right? That's a beautiful ghetto. Well, this is Dred Scott. Shorty, a champion for justice. The Baltimore Black Arts District. Yeah, Westmore. We talking about slavery in the 21st century. Shorty, pull your mask up? No, we getting ready to unmask Baltimore. That's Commissioner Batts. That's Mayor Brandon Scott. Councilman Scott. Mayor Stephanie Rawlins Blake. Councilman Branch. This is Worley Don't Deserve to Serve. And you took this off the walls of City Hall last night. This is to prove I was making a documentary. The entire contents of the defendant's vehicle, a 1999 Chevy Suburban. You took my truck, my computer, and the contents of my vehicle. That's a body attachment. 2011. Nobody got locked up. Shellenberger still in the office. That's Greg Bernstein. All right? Visitor's pass. We talking about art and culture. See the date? 2014. That's Greg Bernstein. That's Scott Shellenberger. That's Pollard Towing. That's Chief Johnson, Baltimore County Police Department. That's Internal Revenue Services. I need an audit. I'm out $250 million. Intellectual property theft. You feel me? And it's all right here. That's Mike Shue. We're going to show you the role that the media plays in misinformation. Mike Shue, Gigi Barnett, Stein Saunders, and Adam May. That's the city solicitor, George Nielsen, Andre Davis, O'Shea. All three of the solicitors knew about this. That's my Department of Justice ID number. It's the Witness Protection Program, and I applied for it. And the city solicitor had that in 2011. That's Justin Burke, Christian Schaefer. All right. Roosevelt Lefkowitz, Mark Marion, Richard Scher. That's ABC too, because they knew too. That's the Baltimore Sun. The Baltimore Sun, the Waukegan News Sun. Miss Gion, like I said, I'm not Emmett Till. Miss Gion works for the Waukegan News Sun. Miss Gion said that I threatened to blow up the Waukegan News Sun. I threatened a $2.5 billion class action lawsuit, and the Baltimore Sun, the Waukegan News Sun, had to pay that lawsuit off. There goes my ID number, and you can get all my paperwork. That's James Calabrese from the State Prosecutor's Office. City, county, state, and federal levels, 2014 to now. That's Kai Jackson, Karen Parks, Fox 45. Got a documentary all about Fox 45 and racism, what Fox 45 does. Social media for social change. That's Mayor Scott and me. You said art, it's the art of protest. You feel me? You bought a toilet from me. You bought that toilet from me. You paid $25 for it. So like you said in your art and the culture, it's Art and the Culture Week. So we're going to talk about the culture of Baltimore. The culture of Baltimore. Racism. You stand for Tennessee but won't open your